Hi everybody, welcome to the video surprise of the day. Today I'm going to talk about replacing the toilet fail valve. It's a very simple job to do and it doesn't take very long. And yes, it's a simple DIY. Before you get started, please remember to hit the subscribe button, the bell icon when we notify new videos. And I really appreciate that thumbs up. That helps the channel a lot. Thank you very much in advance. Hey folks, so today we're going to replace the toilet fail valve. And this is the Fluid Master one. It's the best solution I could find for my needs on toilet. And a lot of times this one does fix the problem. So you got a bucket, right? You got the pair of pliers, maybe a towel, and also a sponge, right? So my problem on this toilet is like there's no water and the toilet fail valve doesn't come back up. So suddenly it stops. It's been a problem, a number of times, and looks like this one's the OEM one that came with the unit, which is great. It lasted pretty long, right? But now it's time to replace it, and how are we gonna do this, right? So it's a very simple DIY that you probably could do under 10 minutes altogether, right? But it's better to have the right equipment. First thing you need to do is turn off the water. Make sure all the water is off first, so you don't want it to fill or anything like that, because you're gonna have to get the water out, right? Make sure that's off. Then you want to lift the flapper over here to make sure as much water can go down to the toilet as possible, because then the less to get out, right? What you don't get out is definitely gonna go on the floor or go in the bucket, so that's a big thing, right? So you probably could use your hand and everything to get all the water out. But I have another solution, right? So but this thing it works great over time, but as in anything that works great over time, it goes bad in that particular. Next thing we need to do is actually get a sponge before we take everything out, because you have the sponge like this one over here. You can use this one in particular, soak up the water. Very simple thing to do. And you want to dump this to a sink or something, right? I'm going to fast forward this a little bit more, so you don't spend all the time watching me taking water out of the toilet. Well, actually out of the tank of the toilet. So get as much off the tank as possible, because once you open it, the water will leak through, and you don't want that. So you're not going to spill over the floor, or it may not fill into the bucket correctly, right? Alright, so I have a difficult time turning this thing, so I actually use my pliers to turn it a little bit. They're going to use my hand, so I don't want to damage the the connector, the end piece over here, so just be really careful. So I'm turning clockwise, you probably notice, to take it out. So it should be hand tight. That shouldn't be very tight in particular, but unfortunately this one is pretty tight, so I needed a little help on that. And of course, getting a little lower bucket would help also, but this is what I got to work with. The next thing you're gonna do is take out the little washer, or actually the little nut, plastic nut that is, on the top. Alright, and I think I need a little help from the little plier. So you gotta turn clockwise, right? So be gentle with that. If you work too hard on that, that actually could cause a crack in the tank over there. So you don't want that to happen, right? If you turn the one way and you put too tight, ask me how I know about that, right? So so keep on turning. You notice that once you turn, the water starts coming down, right? And it's easier to turn when you hold this thing as well at the same time, because you're turning, this thing's moving, then that could cause a problem. So that's something to note. Looks like there's something else on the bottom as well too, so on this unit. So once everything's loosened, don't discard the unit yet, and I'll show you why that you need to keep this unit around. So notice all the water is emptying out. So notice that this one has a gasket on the bottom, the black gasket. You probably noticed that, right? We're going to come back to that. So let's take a look at the new unit over here, the Fluid Master. And this one comes in a box, and yes, so make sure that area over there, the ring is clean. Alright, clean the debris that is. Alright, take everything out of the box. Right, has a quick manual, looks like. I don't need that anymore. So this is the unit, right? Everything is set up for you, and it's plastic, of course. Very nice unit. and you could just put it in. But there's more to this. Well, this is the part that screws on the bottom, but you need to adjust the height. So this doesn't just go in there. So I'm going to show you. If you just put it in there, it's going to look too low. See, just like that. I mean, that's not right. I mean, yeah, of course you could adjust this thing, right? Just turn it, right? Hold the top, turn the bottom. Simple thing like that, right? But you're going to be guessing that again. You're guessing what's the height, and you can spend some time guessing. Unless you don't have a unit there, then you have no choice, right? So the best thing to do is compare the old one. See, you got the old one next to it. Yeah, it's pretty similar. As long as it's not higher than the previous one, or not too much higher, it's around the same height, then you're good, right? So we're good over here. So I'm gonna hold this, right? I'm gonna put the plastic nut, I guess, back on the bottom over here, and the height looks very reasonable. So flat over here, the side is flat. It's gonna be the one on the toilet tank, that is. All right, so I know it's a little bit wet right now, so you just anticipate it. You just twist this thing over here, and hand tight is good enough. You don't have to be super tight. Just don't need to be super tight, but hand tight, and there's no water dripping down. I mean, that's good enough. Okay, so just like that. All right, next thing you need to do, oh yeah, this one comes with a quick manual. I'm going to point out, quick install guide. That's what they call it. And it's in color too. That's so nice. I mean, you can read through this thing, and it probably tell you the same thing overall. So you got this hose, reflex hose. You could cut it a little bit if it really bothers you, but I'm not gonna go cut it. So I'm just gonna connect it. I do want to show you where to connect it to. You see the little tip of the hose? So you get a close up over here. A little gray thing that points out over here. So that's the part you want to stick the hose in there, right? Just like there. So you stick that in right here. Put it in as much as possible. In particular, there you go. And it's a little bit long. It's okay. So we're gonna put this thing on the end over here. Okay, we're gonna clip it to the. I'm gonna show you. Put this thing right in over here. Make sure it's all the way in. You don't want it to fall out, and you're just gonna clip this thing over here. So the water will go straight into the apparatus over here. Just like that. Simple as that. So once you have that, then you could turn on the water. Of course, I didn't connect the water hose yet. The water line, that is. So I'm going to connect the water back here. Oh yeah, you can move the bucket out of the way. So just like this over here, just twist. Remember, it's counterclockwise. You put it back clockwise to remove. Simple as that. I'm not left-handed, so I'm doing this left hand. Imagine that, right? So it's kind of hard if you're not left-handed, but you get used to it, I guess. You don't have to make it super tight, just hand tight. That should be good enough. Of course, you want to turn on the water, and watch the water fill up. So this will take a little bit of time for the water to fill up. And if you get it right, you just need to do it one time. So those are the things that I learned, and I'm sharing it. Hopefully help others. Yes, my tank is a little bit dirty. I noticed that too. So, oh well, But when it fills up, the valve, there's like a balloon or something, a float, right? That will come up and stop the water from filling. So you see the water fill line over there in particular. So once it hits that, that's the point that it should stop. So it's gonna keep on filling. See how much footage I capture on this one over here. You could keep an eye on that thing over there. So once it hits a certain mark, it's just gonna stop, right? So once that stops, then the water's good. But make sure you check under here. That's why I noticed. If it's not too tight, it will leak. That's the biggest thing I wanted to point out. Hopefully you like this video. I really appreciate a thumbs up so other people could see this video. Have a comment to share and to help others. Please leave it below. And I see you next time. Have a good one. Bye.